Hey, hey, let's go. We're not here to gamble, we're here to trade. We follow the plan, that's how we get paid. Testing, trading, have success. Find what works for you and forget the rest. Stats and probabilities is what we're about. Time to dismiss greed and doubt. Focus on the process, not the money. And the profits will flow like honey. Power Hour Live, let's start the show. Come on, trade hackers, get ready to go. 0-day options, time to make bank. Get locked and loaded, then be ready to plank. Hey!
Hey everyone, welcome to Power Hour Live, Wednesday, April 9th. Wow, what a day, my friends, what a day. S&P is up 8%, up 395 points. Somehow the circuit breakers didn't work on the upside today, apparently. NASDAQ is up 10%, 1,735 points higher at the moment. Russell is up 142 points, 8%. Dow is up almost 7%, 2,571 points from yesterday's close. Gold and silver both up 4%. Notes and bonds are red. 10-year yield up 2.5%. Oil is up 4%. Natural gas up 8%. All the grains finished green. Euro and the pound are both a little bit green. Bitcoin up 7.5%. VIX down 35%. Back to 34. Holy moly. What a ride. Of course, if you're just now joining the market, we had a 90-day pause in tariffs from the White House, and that sent the market shooting higher. So I did 2 Tickle Me Elmos today. One was a winner, one was a loser. So net a little bit red. The big thing that I did today was day trading. So, Chad, I'll let you talk about your day, and then I'll jump into it because I want to spend a few minutes.
All right, give me a second here. I did 2 TLC trades. One was just poorly managed. Kind of did what I tried to do yesterday and should have never done that. Closed out shorts, closed out long calls. So, and then we had a bounce and just ended up closing long calls. I'm sorry, my long puts. And just was a losing trade, poorly managed. Then I did one other one and hit 2040. And then my last one got stopped on an up move. So nice winner there. And it was so almost break even for TLC. I tried a couple. I did a couple Tickle Me Elmos. One stopped, one profit target. I did get in some SPY calls and made about a little over $4,000 on those. So pretty nice green day today. I've also it's my first day trading in my rollover account that it's finally was finally ready to go, funded, and so it's a little extra account there that I'm trading in, up $2,600 in that one too.
So we got the S&P and the NASDAQ approaching highs of day again. Microsoft pushing through highs. I'm currently in Amazon calls. I got out of everything and then I reloaded in Amazon calls when it hit yesterday's high. And now it's breaking through highs. I'm also in some I got back into some MSTR calls, but so here's what I did today. Big day. So in one account, so I'm currently up 4,300 on those Amazon calls. Still have a bunch left. I got hosed pretty good in Bank of America and GME on that initial bounce, and Goldman Sachs. I was short those, and then I quickly got out of them. My Microsoft trade booked over 30K. My MSTR in this account's pretty much a scratch, and then on some SPY calls, a little over 26. So that's that account. And then I accidentally, I didn't realize I was in this account because I was managing my my price action iron Condor, and I got into MSTR, and that was my big one. Ended up being a $43,000 winner on that MSTR trade. So MSTR, I've got it here on my screen. I got in right at this green line is the pre-market. I had gotten in a couple of, actually let me make this a little bit bigger. I had gotten in a couple of trades, and I was net red on MSTR. Oh wow, look at Apple taking off. I was net red on MSTR. I had tried to get long at the pre-market high, which is this green line, and made a little and then lost some. So I was net red. And then I got back in when it pushed back above right here at about 11:35. And I knew the bond auction was coming up, and I just thought the way price action was looking that we might get a little bit of a pop for the bond auction. And that did happen. So I was pretty happy. Scaled out of a bunch right here at noon when the bond auction hit, and then pulled back, and I reloaded. And then I got the little tariff surprise, which sent this thing just absolutely exploding higher. You know, MSTR is up 26% today. So that was just a freaking monster. And my other big one was Microsoft. See if I can squeeze this back down. So my other big one was Microsoft, and so I had been in this. I was in this early this morning on live stream, and made some, and then it gave some back, and then when it was still, from a relative strength standpoint, it still had much better relative strength versus the, wow, look at Apple go. Apple must have got some relief on tariffs. Holy moly. So I was still watching Microsoft because it had relative strength compared to the indices. And then, so when it pulled back close to pre-market high again, that's where I got in. And again, I got the initial bump from the bond auction, and then got lucky, obviously, with the tariff news, and just killed it on those Microsoft calls. Elliot, you caught some Apple? Beautiful. Yeah, so Matrix, it's the runner course, and it's real simple. And I did an updated lesson, so look for the updated lesson. I'm doing two things. Number one, I'm looking for stocks that have relative strength versus the S&P or NASDAQ. Or if I'm trading something like MSTR, I want it to have relative strength compared to like Bitcoin. So I'm looking for the one or two stocks that have the best relative strength if I'm going long. And then I'm looking for a level to manage risk around. So that could be previous days high, previous days low, pre-market high, pre-market low. Those are the ones that I use the most. And I'm taking a position as it gets to that level. And if I get a 5-minute close, against me on that level, I just cut it off for a small loss. But as you can see, what can happen is, sometimes you get lucky and can hit a massive home run like we're seeing today. So it's all about relative strength and relative weakness versus the benchmark that you're trading against, an ETF or an index. And then it's just managing risk around a specific level. That's it. No indicators, no noise, nothing else. And MSTR is hitting highs of day here, so I'm going to scale out of some of this. Yeah, I mean, feel free to ask questions here, but yeah, that is kind of the basis. I mean, I'd watched the whole runner's course around continuation runners, and then specifically that updated lesson from a few months ago. And keep in mind, like this environment, you know, price is moving, right? So this is the environment to be trading directionally in. If you get into an environment where price is kind of grinding sideways, it's much more difficult to directionally day trade in that kind of environment. So that's why I've been just so focused this year on directional day trading, because the market is just moving. The first one, like relative strength. And give me a minute. I'm going to scale out of some more Amazon here. Yeah, so a good example is Microsoft this morning. So let me do this. Let me get it. Give me just a minute. Oh, sorry. Let me get that turned off, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's annoying. All right, that's my system audio is now turned off, so you shouldn't hear any more chimes. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so let me pull this up on my screen. Okay, so on the top chart, I have Microsoft, and on the bottom chart, I have SPY. Let's go from like... So the green line on Microsoft is the pre-market highs. That was kind of the level that I was targeting. And the pre-market highs in SPY. And so you can see SPY is just kind of a little bit below, and it's basically, SPY was kind of unchanged. It kept bouncing off unchanged. It went red a little bit, but Microsoft did not. Microsoft never went red. It opened a little bit red, made a big push up, and really held above its pre-market high all morning. So when I say relative strength, you know, on a percentage basis, Microsoft was up more than the S&P and the QQQs. It was when SPY and the indices were dipping, it didn't dip as much. So that's called relative strength. Yeah, SPX chart's going to look exactly the same. I've been trading QQQ and SPY puts and calls too, so I just decided to, on these charts when I'm day trading, just to use SPY and QQQ. But yeah, you could use NDX, SPX. You could use the futures. Doesn't really matter. The action is gonna look the same. Does that make sense? And then same thing on the flip side. You know, if the market is weak, or if you see the market bouncing, I want to see which stocks are staying weaker. Like an example today was Bank of America. So look at SPY is moving up. It's green, and Bank of America is still below its yesterday's low, which is this yellow line. So financials overall as a sector were weak, and you know, Bank of America was an example of the weakest stock. You know, I was looking at Goldman, I was looking at JP Morgan, I was looking at Bank of America, and as far as financials go, it was the weakest stock. And I keep a list of the sectors over here too. So I was looking at XLF, and at that point it was red. It was one of the weakest. I think it was the weakest maybe. And then so I looked for the weakest bank stock. It was Bank of America. I didn't notice it until I think I did notice it. I did not take that trade though, but that would have been a good setup to get short right at yesterday's low, where it's the weakest. And so, and even, you know, when the market was bouncing, certain times Bank of America was either staying flat or, you know, kind of declining. And then you can see when SPY had a little dip, Bank of America flushed through lows of day and down even more. So anyway, so both ways, relative strength and relative weakness. And then, like I said, you're finding a level to manage risk around and just be a good risk manager. Cut your losses quickly and let your winners run. If I'm in day trading mode, I'm just kind of watching. I'm watching. I have this grid up here that you see on my screen, which is SPY, QQQ, IWM, and Bitcoin, and then below those is a 15-minute chart, just to get a little bit different perspective from a different time frame. And then I've got another board with 8 stocks on it. So these are kind of the big boys: Apple, Amazon, Google, Coinbase. This is usually Meta. I just have MSTR on here because I'm in it right now. Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla. So those all 8 kind of stay the same. And then I've got another board that's kind of interchangeable. You know, right now I've got Snowflake, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, PLTR, Hood, MSTR, GME, BABA, and then I've got another one. And these are all interchangeable. You know, I've got Netflix, AMD, AVGO. So you don't need all these, and especially when you're just starting out, you don't need that many. But that's what I have. That's what I'm looking at on my different monitors. And so I'm looking, you know, and once you get used to it, I mean, you know, I'm looking at SPY and QQQ mostly. And then if I'm seeing, you know, if I'm seeing SPY and QQQ pulling back, you know, dipping to the downside, and I look over my list of stocks and I see a stock rallying or not dipping at all, that's a that's a flag to me. Like, let's pay attention to this one. Are you talking about this format of the charts, Elliot? I have them set up as, right here on this grid up here, I just named it M90 and runners. It looks like I could share it. You want me to share it? There you go. Yeah, so all these are 5-minute charts, except for my index grid. I've got 5-minute on the top and I've got 15-minute on the bottom. All right, getting a little dip here. And then the blue line is, and these are in the day trading course, it's just an indicator that we made, and it's the previous day's high, previous day's low, previous day's close, and previous day's open. I should really take previous day's open off. It doesn't really have any significance to me. But I do like the previous day high, low, and close. And then if I have a green line on my chart, that is the pre-market high or pre-market low, and I just do that manually before the market opens if there's something that's of interest. Yeah, all that's in the in that runner course matrix. And then as far as exits go, so my exits are a little discretionary. Like, so I got in Amazon right here at the previous day's high, right? That's what I'm in right now. And so I used to get out of some at like a percentage of profit, like 10%. And so you'll notice that I talk about that in the course, but in that updated lesson, I rediscuss it. And so really I'm more interested in taking profits at a level as opposed to a specific percentage, because I try not to watch my P&L while I'm in a trade anyway. And so when I got long here, my first profit target, I took some off when it hit highs of day. So if I'm getting long, that's typically what I'm doing. I'm getting out when it hits a previous kind of peak high or high of day, and then the opposite on the downside. If I get in on a bounce short, I'm going to get out of some at lows of day. And then from there, it's just, try to squeeze as much as you can out of it. And like today, when we had that explosion, I had some profit targets set, and those immediately hit. And then I didn't even put in another profit target. I was just like, let's just see where this thing goes, which ended up being a good thing. I'm always watching it, Ken. Yeah. So you could put a stop loss. You could put an OCO order in with a profit target and a stop loss. But if I'm in a trade, I'm usually watching, or I'm always watching, I should say, not usually. which is a downside of this kind of trade, right? Like I posted in the day trading chat. I was like, I'm out of everything. I got to reset. I had to get away. So I took a little walk. I had to get something to eat. I hadn't eaten lunch because I was so glued to what was going on. So it's not something that I do all day every day, but today was a little special. Bosch, do you re-enter if the high is broken? I'm not sure what you mean. No, I do not enter on a breakout. That's where I'd be taking profits. Google still pushing through highs. MSTR's dipping a little bit.
I did a Tickle Me Elmo, hit profit target in 6 minutes, and I've got another one going right now.
Oh, nice. MSTR is dipping. I don't want to give much back here. Yeah, so if MSTR doesn't bounce, I'm gonna cut it. So this is a little bit of a discretionary part, right? Like, okay, if you're in a trade, I scaled out of some at highs of day. Now it's pulling back. When do I get out? Well, you just got to use your best judgment. I'm watching Bitcoin. This is MSTR, so I'm watching Bitcoin. I'm watching the indices. They're staying strong. So I don't like that it's dipping. So I'm just kind of watching it. And I don't want to give back much, so is that a friend of yours, Mara? Gotcha. It's nice of you to post for your friend. Post your friend's wins. All right, so a little dip. Started to get bought up a little bit in MSTR.
Just hit another Tickle Me Elmo. That's number 2 for Power Hour. What a day.
Elliot, what was the news in Apple? Did you see anything? It just kind of this late explosion where everything else was kind of grinding higher. Got about 14 minutes till the bell.
Tickle Me Elmo profit again. See, that one took 7 minutes.
I'm going to get out of MSTR here. All right, I'm out of MSTR. I still have some Amazon. MOC in 3 minutes Yeah, I mean, I don't. There's not usually any correlation to the day's movement with MOC, so I have no idea. Rapid fire Elmo. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. All right, starting to see a little pullback here. We don't have much time left in the day. I want to keep some on because we may get a run into the close. Yeah, I'm going to leave my Amazon for now. I better get my MOC voice ready. Financial Juice has been busy lately. Oh, I mean, probably up to 30 minutes before the bell. I mean, I put this one on Amazon with an hour to go. Yeah. So I don't know, hour 45, 30 minutes maybe. I'm typically out by this point. But yeah, it's probably I don't have a time, but I don't remember really entering anything after about 30 minutes till the bell.
One minute now until we get the market
1
on
minute till
close
MOC,
imbalance.
Google pushing through highs, Amazon popping back up. SPY, QQQ popping back up. Let's just get one last good rip into the close. What do you guys think? Yeah, SPX needs 5,500 at least. Maybe 5,600.
Ten seconds.
MOC incoming in 5 seconds. I better get my close order ready just in case.
So looking now to the market on close imbalance, S&P 500 buy side 1.8 billion.
1.8 billion buy side.
100 buy side
Let's
2.6
go.
billion.
Push it.
Dow 30 buy side 608 million. Mag 7 stocks a buy side of 1.2 billion. Seeing a report from ABC, Trump expected to hold a cabinet meeting tomorrow.
Trump's holding a cabinet meeting tomorrow.
So an ABC reporter posts on X, again expected Trump cabinet meeting tomorrow.
All right, initial little reaction by Apple and Amazon and Google and Microsoft. IWM lagging, but S&P and NASDAQ pushing.
Never seen a Dow up 3,000 in a day.
Dude, I've been trading 25 years. I've never seen any shit like this before.
Yeah, it just hit it. Just hit $3,000. Glad I've been buying the dip every day and some of my long term.
37% drop in VIX in one day. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Scale out of some Amazon here. Microsoft pushing. Tesla's at 22%. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. I think we gap up overnight, and then I don't know about tomorrow, but I think we gap up. I just think we got too much momentum going here. So maybe I'll hold the rest of my Amazon calls. Let me do a quick check, see if there's anything else I'd rather be in. I mean, it's probably as good as anything. Maybe Tesla. So let's see, what kind of size do I have on here? I've got about 5K of risk left. Well, that's not true. I'm up 2,500, and I have 2,500 of actual risk. So, all right, leaving 10 Amazon calls on overnight. If we gap up, I will be selling them at the open.
A US official says there's no change to auto, steel, and aluminium tariffs. And also no change to Canada and Mexico tariffs, according to a US official, contrary to what we heard earlier.
Five minutes to go. S&P, Nasdaq,
Canadian dollar saw
Paradise.
some weakness following that headline again. A US official says no change to Canada and Mexico tariffs.
I thought we'd see a little bit bigger push.
Keep in mind, a Trump Oval Office event begins due
Ending
to be
the
signing
day up
executive
70K
orders.
today,
We'll see if there's a
kids.
video available for this.
Oh man, congrats.
And that's taken a beating in a few stocks like GME and Bank of America and Goldman. Yeah, we have a free membership version. Abosh, I have that as I don't have it as a workspace. I just have it as a, see this in the upper right-hand corner of your chart? Where you can create a chart grid.
Trump says having a
So,
good day
I
on
think
the
it's just
stock
a
market.
grid. Yeah, save it. I have it saved as a grid is what it is, not a workspace. You just go up here in the upper right-hand corner, and if you save it, it'll be listed here. Do you see my screen? So just click up here, and then it'll be saved right here. Or if you can create whatever you want and save grid as, and then it'll show up there.
Trump says record day on the stock market should continue.
Trump just said the stock market rally is going to continue, so there you go. Get your calls on. There's your cue for tomorrow. Gosh, do I want to put some more on? Maybe I'll buy some futures, and I can manage them overnight. Oh, we've got CPI tomorrow.
That's right.
Okay.
You still gonna hold those?
Yep. And I'm going to buy 5 MES futures. All right. Yeah, I think the market, at least for the next day or so, and obviously unless something changes, but I just think any news is going to release the market higher. Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, and exactly discount. I don't know that it really matters compared to what else is with the tariff stuff going on. I mean, think about it. I even forgot about it until just now. So if I forgot about it.
So we've got a live video on the feed as Trump signs executive orders. That's on the feed now.
Remember when signing executive orders was a big deal?
Irish Trade Minister Harris says, I'm meeting with U.S. Commerce Secretary Lutnick. It's confirmed my view of U.S. openness to engage in comprehensive trade negotiations with the EU.
I might have to take a nap. It's been an intense day.
So Irish Trade Minister Harris says, again, meeting U.S. Commerce Secretary Lutnick confirmed my view of U.S. openness to engage in comprehensive trade talks with the EU.
Ding, ding, ding.
So Trump here is to sign an executive order on shipbuilding.
5456.68. 5456.68. All right, all. Thank you, guys. That's a wrap for today as far as day trading goes. Tomorrow is the 10th. So Chad will be streaming live in the morning for the day trading at the market open, and then we'll be back for Power Hour. All right, all. Take care. Have a good night. Rest up. New day tomorrow. Should be fun. Cheers.